All right, so today we are doing something a little different. We're diving deep into a single, really compact piece of creative text. We're looking at the lyrics of the song Summertime Hustle by Donnie Doom.
Yeah.
Now, we usually come to you with a pile of research papers and policy memos. But these lyrics, they're so dense with language about labor and aspiration, they almost function like a complete ideological document on their own.
They really do.
So our mission here is to just unpack these short, powerful stanzas. We want to get to the core themes of work ethic, endurance, and what this hustle really symbolizes.
And what's so fascinating to me is how quickly, right from the jump, the lyrics establish this dual nature of the hustle. It's not just the physical effort,
Right.
it's also that intense internal motivation that you need to sustain it. And the word summertime is so crucial here. It implies this defined, finite window of opportunity.
The seasonal blitz, yeah.
Exactly. It contrasts this temporary, intense effort with what could be a permanent, long-term reward.
That's a great way to frame it. So if we take that idea of a seasonal blitz, let's start by unpacking the setting and the real cost of the labor that's described right in verse 1 and 2.
Okay, so analyzing that physical experience in verse 1, we are immediately thrown right into it, working all summer.
Yeah.
That establishes this relentless duration, and the environment is deliberately hostile.
Hmm.
Days are long, and heat is strong. I mean, this isn't some cozy air-conditioned work. This is labor that has to endure physical stress. The environment itself is almost like an antagonist.
And the goal, at least at first, it seems so modest, so practical. Trying to earn a dollar,
Yeah.
it grounds this huge effort in a tangible, a necessary financial need. But that's the tension, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, the physical toll is massive. Long days, intense heat. But the immediate reward stated is so small, just a dollar.
Yeah.
It sort of implies the real value has to lie somewhere else.
Exactly. If you were only focused on that single dollar, the effort just wouldn't be worth the price. And the lyrics quickly show that the time commitment, the physical toll, they're relentless for a reason. And that reason isn't immediate cash.
Yeah.
Verse 2 gives us this visibility of the effort. Sweat on my brow. This is public. It's undeniable labor.
And that's paired with this incredible consciousness of time, counting every minute now.
Right.
The work spans from sunrise to nightfall. It's not just a long day. It's this all-consuming immersion. It sounds exhausting, but also so intentional. Counting minutes feels like a focus on efficiency, on throughput.
And if we connect that physical fatigue to the mental state that's required, we land right in the chorus. The intensity of the work, it demands total, focused commitment, a kind of internal alignment.
You see the physical and the psychological just merging.
Yes, heartbeats in sync. It elevates the state of being busy into something harmonious, almost spiritual.
I keep getting drawn back to that level of concentration. I can barely blink.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just perfectly captures the pace, the total mental absorption needed. But wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't defining success by achieving this flow state or being so focused you barely blink? Isn't that dangerously close to glorifying burnout?
Yeah.
This kind of commitment is just not sustainable outside that summertime window.
That's a really valid modern critique of hustle culture, absolutely. But I think in the context of these lyrics, it elevates that alignment to a necessary precondition for success. The lyrics aren't celebrating the pain itself, they're celebrating the mental discipline you need to maintain that effective state despite the pain. It's like success is defined by finding perfect synchronization, even in chaos. That's a powerful message of self-mastery.
Okay, let's pivot here a bit and look at the engine room of these lyrics, the really specific, visceral language about labor in verse 3. This is where it moves beyond the general working all summer to, tangible action.
Right. And we get these three distinct, very active phrases in quick succession that paint a picture of skilled, dedicated work. They create incredible momentum. First, grab my tools.
Mm-hmm.
This suggests preparation, intentionality. It often implies a skill, a trade. It's not passive waiting, it's actively getting ready for the day.
And that second phrase is just fantastic in its specificity. Hit the bricks.
Yeah.
It's so much more visceral than just saying get to work. The bricks, they imply pavement, the street, the rough exterior of a job site. It's work that happens out there, exposed to that heat we were just talking about. It just screams immediacy.
And if you think about the history of that phrase, hitting the bricks,
Yeah.
often referred to itinerant laborers, construction workers, people whose pay was tied to the physical ground they covered. It grounds the hustle, not just in abstract effort, but in mobility, in exposure. The worker is actively seeking opportunity.
And then you have the ultimate metaphor right next to that literal effort,
Yeah.
grinding through the fire. That is
Yeah.
just, it's exponentially more intense than the strong heat from verse 1.
It really is.
That shift from literal heat to metaphorical fire, it suggests enduring extreme emotional difficulty or intense pressure, or maybe even the consuming passion that's driving the whole thing.
What's also fascinating is the sound of it. You have the alliteration, grab my tools, grinding through the fire. That hard G sound is repetitive, just like the work. It makes the action feel heavier, more continuous.
And even with that extreme challenge, the internal resolve doesn't break. The importance of persistence is right there in the final line of that verse. Never losing my desire. So the painful work is overcome by this unbreakable internal drive. The desire is the ultimate fuel.
Which brings us to the deeper question, right? What is this desire, this motivation that sustains the whole summertime hustle? If the immediate goal is just $1, what's the long-term goal that makes all the struggle worthwhile?
We actually find that aspiration embedded right next to the physical pain back in verse 1. But the dream keeps getting taller. Get it? This is the core tension of the whole hustle philosophy. It suggests the goal isn't static. It's always expanding, getting more ambitious.
It does raise an interesting question for you, for the listener. Is the dream getting taller because the worker is building a foundation and can now see higher? Or is it getting taller because the goalposts just keep moving in our economic reality? Is it a ladder or a treadmill? The lyrics, of course, present it as aspirational. The worker is always aiming higher.
And that ambition is supported by this foundational belief that we get in the bridge. The lyrics start with this brutal realism. Life ain't easy. It just accepts the struggle. But that difficulty is immediately countered by this firm conviction. I got this feeling.
That feeling is everything. It's the intangible anchor, the core, unshakable belief that gets you through the long hours and the grinding through the fire. It's such a crucial component of resilience,
Yeah.
accepting hardship while keeping this unwavering faith in the outcome.
And the lyrics even define what bridges that belief to reality. In that same bridge, the mechanism for success is laid out explicitly. Hard work and grit. It's a simple formula. It strips everything else away and just says, if you have these two things, you can navigate the difficulty.
Finally, we connect all of this, the internal effort, the external effort, to the social outcome, overcoming negativity from others. The text says this effort will leave these doubters reeling. So the hustle isn't just a financial thing, it's a deeply personal, public victory against skepticism. The reward isn't just a paycheck, it's validation.
So let's try to bring this all together. We've pulled out these key elements from a pretty short text.
Yeah.
We have this relentless physical effort, and it's combined with an unshakable belief, that feeling, in a goal that's always growing. And all that results in that focused, synchronized state from the chorus, total devotion where, in the middle of the struggle, I can barely blink.
And if you connect that to the big picture, the summertime hustle lyrics really function as this powerful anthem, an anthem for intentional, intense, short-term effort that's all directed at a long-term aspiration. It's a declaration that self-reliance requires not just muscle and time, but this poetic, almost trance-like alignment of body, mind, and spirit.
Absolutely. The victory, like you said, is achieving and maintaining that alignment where the heart beats in sync. The lyrics define success not just by the outcome, the dollar, the dream, but by successfully navigating the process itself. The commitment is the currency.
And I challenge you, the listener, to think about how often your own aspirations, professional, creative, whatever they are, require that same total commitment. When you look at the goals you're chasing, where in your own life are you truly grinding through the fire, operating in that necessary focused intensity where you can barely blink? That level of intentional dedication is rare, but these lyrics suggest it's mandatory for anything truly worthwhile.
That is a powerful final thought on what aspiration and commitment really demand. It just proves that you only need a few verses to capture an entire philosophy. Thanks for sharing this phenomenal piece of source material for this deep dive.